There'll be a few scattered showers south of the St. Louis area today, but at least we got a break for a day or two. Tomorrow, here in the upper Midwest, still mostly sunny, but you can see rain developing west of here in the eastern slopes of the Rockies, and that'll be pushing in here probably by Wednesday. So a couple of days of relief, but not nearly enough. High temperatures today, 70s and 80s up north, down south, 90s and sticky. That's a look at the national weather. Here's a look at the weather where you are.
Some sunshine headed our way for today. That's the good news. There are a few sprinkles showing up on radar here northern Boone County. You can see some of this may not actually even be hitting the ground, and then another patch here around Newcastle. So rain basically coming to an end. Slight chance of a thunderstorm, I think, south of Indianapolis. 85 will be our high today. Clearing it out overnight, 67 for the low. And Tuesday looks pretty good. Warmer but less humid. Mostly sunny and 87 for the high. Outside right now, cloudy again and 75.
Let me just point out very quickly that the Salvation Army at its relief tent over here is performing some very important human services, not just shelter and food, but also counseling. Many people come here just wanting to talk, and believe me, they need it. Aaron?
Thank you, Spencer. 11.5 minutes past the hour. Television advertising like jazz and rock and roll may be an American art form, but the rest of the world is beginning to catch on in a big...
Folks are holding up all right, Harry. Saturday morning, following the tragedy, we met, we strategized, and we have decided what we're going to do. We've got a helicopter shuttle in place. We're opening the bridge at Keokuk today through a massive effort, a lot of cooperation out of the state and federal government, the Department of Transportation, the Army, and we're just going to keep going and make the best that we can out of this situation. What you see behind me, of course, is about 7 miles of river all the way to the Missouri Bluff. That's probably 20 to 30 feet deep out there. It's essentially the river reclaiming its old borders from bluff to bluff now. So my bridges here in Quincy will remain closed for an extended period of time. There's nothing to do in terms of engineering to get rid of that water for probably 2 or 3 months. So we're going to work on Keokuk, then on Hannibal, and go from there, Harry.
We talked about, you mentioned a tragedy. On the 3 days that we broadcast from Quincy last week, we talked every day about trying to save that levee at West Quincy and keep the bridge open. What happened Friday night?
What happened Friday night is about a quarter mile to the north here. The river broke through a stretch, ripping trees out, taking barges in through the area behind me. The Phillips 66 station you see was hit by a barge. There's a construction barge with a crane lodged in a train station over here. The gas station exploded, sending flames miles south of here. It was unbelievable, Harry, but thank God everybody got out all right. I was very concerned. Of course, I had my own city workers over here. They did as instructed. They went to the west and didn't try to come back through the viaduct here. And there was no loss of life, so we thank the Lord for that. Also, Quincy, Illinois, on the other side, on our Illinois side, we're still holding strong, Harry, and our industry there and our infrastructure is still okay, but we have to remain vigilant. As you know, even though the river's gone down, it's still very critical.
Just to the south of you, the other levee we were so worried about last week is the Snai. That's that big 51-mile levee protecting more than 110,000 acres of prime farmland. What's the situation on that levee right now?
Still very tenuous, and that's why we can't open a crossing to the south, because we can't do anything on the Illinois side of the river at Hannibal because of that levee. It just wouldn't be wise from a public safety standpoint to put people in there. And of course, we don't want to do any construction around that levee. We have to wait till that situation stabilizes, Harry, but they're holding their own down there. A lot of heroes down there, just like there were here in West Quincy and up and down the river bottoms. A lot of stories of courage.
And just real quickly, how about those folks down there at Quincy University? You got that big parking lot, round the clock, folks filling sandbags. Are you closing that down, or what's going on there now?
What we've done, Harry, is we've created a huge stockpile of hundreds of thousands of sandbags. We have our City of Quincy trucks loaded, and we're ready to respond down to the Snai and anywhere else that they're needed within our own city or up and down the river. But right now, most of the levee commissioners have achieved the height that they want on their levees. It's just a question of the pressure of the river right now and trying to be always on guard for boils and shifts in the sand and that sort of thing. Right now, the demand for the bags has slowed down, but we're ready to respond if necessary.
All right. Mayor Schultz, we thank you for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it. Your community responded in a way that was nothing short of inspirational. And LD, I have one quick question for you. When was the last time you had a shower?
Well, I had one in the rain here a couple of days ago, which was a real experience. It wasn't quite warm on that particular night.
All right. We hope you get your water running soon. Gentlemen, we thank you for joining us this morning. We're coming up on 17 minutes after the hour. Let's go back to New York now, and Paul.
Here, I guess that's where you find some of the longest lines these days in some of the hotels in Des Moines, and people trying to pay $4 for a shower. I'm not surprised. Next on CBS This Morning, our short of biblical quantities. Manhattan, Kansas has been praying for a break after nearly 3 straight weeks of rain. 5 Kansas counties have been declared federal disaster areas. And things are no better in Alton, Illinois, as Bob Orr reports.
It's another hazy and potentially rainy day here, and teams of engineers all up and down the Mississippi are on levee patrol looking for boils and washouts, trying to avoid what happened yesterday in Kaskaskia Island. It's the Mississippi's latest proof it will go wherever it wants. A major earthen levee on Kaskaskia Island, which engineers believed was strong enough, gave way.
That just shocked me. I just can't believe that. I thought so many of the other levees around would go before that one.
The break unleashed furious floodwaters on 75 homes, raising fears that other floodwalls all along the river also may collapse under the pressure of record-high waters.
The longer these rivers are up at very high stages, the more they would threaten all levees, either both government levees as well as the local levees, which people have put up in many cases on an emergency basis.
But even if the rest of the dams and levees like this one in St. Genevieve, Missouri continue to hold, people living along these Midwest rivers will have to put up with floodwaters through the summer. A depressing prospect for everybody. Heavy downpours again are adding to the floodwaters and the frustration. More storms are coming, and nobody here wants to see them.
Me and the guys just look at each other and roll our eyes and, you know, just wondering if this is ever going to end for any of us here.
Not soon enough. With as much as 5 inches of new rain on the way, the levees and the people are being stretched to their limits. And there's a real fear here that some of those levees are in danger. The one that collapsed yesterday, Paula, in Kaskaskia Island, that was built by the Army Corps. They thought that one, among all others, would stand, and we know now that it didn't. They're looking for other problem spots today. Paula?
Give us an idea of what folks along those problem spot areas can expect over the next couple of days.
I'll tell you, the forecast here is dismal. They're talking about heavy rains for the next several days in this area. And there's a new forecast out this morning that says in Missouri, heavy rains can be expected for the next 5 weeks, which means these floodwaters probably won't drop below flood stage until maybe even September now, they're saying.
Bob Orr reporting from Alton, Illinois for us this morning. Moving up on just about 6 minutes past the hour. Time to head out to Los Angeles, where Mark McEwen is standing by. He has the weather this morning, among other things. Good morning.
Good morning again to you, Paula. Paula, calling you Paulie. Happy Friday.
That's
Let's
okay.
do the wake-up call. That's
you kind of
okay.
like me, Mark. That's okay.
Paulie. Here's the wake-up call for you this morning. We're going to head on out to the Dakotas. Let's talk about...
My needs. Monistat, the #1 choice of women, the #1 recommendation of doctors.
After 50 years, Tom and Jerry are back in their first major motion picture, featuring 6 all-new songs from award-winning composer Henry Mancini.
Hello, all you happy people.
It's Tom and Jerry, the movie, rated G, starts Friday, July 30th.
It's kind of unbelievable that people in America are eating 40 pounds of sugar a year. Now I have got a little sugar bowl full of Equal packets. It's just there. I use it. I like it.
Equal has NutraSweet and no saccharin.
I choose Equal.
Look at this. Marijuana can mess you up. Right. We've been getting high for what? 15 years? Nothing's ever happened. Did I get into all the drugs and start mugging people? Nah, didn't do anything. In fact,
Mary Smith.
To Shakespeare, I'll be talking with him a little bit later on.
You even look for a job today?
No, Ma.
Marijuana can make nothing happen to you, too.
Get ready for some fireworks.
Loving's born to be wild, says USA Today.
Wow.
It's